Hello and welcome to the BSD Open Evening live from, again, my office space to you guys today. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Thank you so much for joining in, and we will be looking at all the important details that you need to know about BSD today. So let me share this presentation with you guys. First of all, again, thanks so much for coming, and I will be introducing to you today the all the basics you need to know about BSD, about our program that we do. So let's jump right in. I'll give you a quick overview over our session today. We're gonna just look at what is BSD, what is our vision, the general information, and how you can get involved. And then we're gonna hear some student testimonies, we've got some videos, but then we also have a live Q&A with the students. They're gonna come on around 20 to 8, and then we have about 20 minutes with them, which I'm really looking forward to hearing their opinions, and you can definitely look forward to that. And just to mention this here, if anyone has any questions at any point, you can always ask in the chat. And then you will find that our students can answer those questions, or I can answer those questions. I will keep an eye on my phone as well on the live and see if you guys are putting any questions in. So that's definitely something that's important to say there. All right, so what is BSD? All you need to know. Before I say anything more, I thought I would share this little video with you guys about the vision behind BSD. So enjoy.
You are alive for a purpose. You are called to impact the world. You are destined for significance, awakened to make a difference. God's plan for the reconciliation of the world is His church. God sent His Son, Jesus, so that we could be restored to Him and then empowered to transform the world around us. We are here to say yes to Jesus and see our world transformed through you. We are driven by a passion to raise up leaders, world changers, history makers, revivalists who know Jesus intimately and know the power of the gospel, who will go into all the world empowered to love, making disciples and seeing God's kingdom impact everything. Will you say yes?
Okay, so just a little video there to share with you guys about our vision, and generally the vision that we have for BSD, and you will find out exactly how we do this, is to empower and equip people, anyone really, who wants to be growing in a discipleship, to be disciples who make disciples. So disciples being someone who follows Jesus, follows into His footsteps, and who lives the way He does. So following Jesus, being disciples who make disciples. And we want to see a generation of people who know who they are in Christ, walk confidently in their gifts that God has given them and in their strengths, find out what their strengths are, and have that real desire to spread the gospel and reach the lost. Because it's not just about coming together and, being together and having a good time. It's about going out and reaching people out there. We want to see people transformed. We want to see real transformation in people that goes from, their confidence to, just seeing how God really starts that work of transformation in them and how they live out the calling that God has put on their lives. And very, very important to us as well is to see how, God transforms us into people who are well, and doing really well, and who have learned how to love people well. Because we do believe that this is the most important thing in the Bible that we can learn, is how to love God and how to love people. So that's our vision. We want the church to be relevant again to any age group, not just to young people, but any age group in this time that we live in. So that's a bit about our vision. General information. Total basics. This is an attempt to kind of sum up BSD in one sentence, and this is what we've come up with. BSD, standing short obviously for Brighter School of Discipleship, is an opportunity to become part of an empowering, fun and diverse community of people who want to explore faith together and learn more about God and themselves as disciples. So it's really all about, learning about ourselves as disciples, really growing and exploring faith together in a safe space with people from all kinds of different backgrounds. It's an 11-month internship, so it's 11 months that you join us, and you can learn how to be a disciple who makes disciples. So who? It's usually a group of around 10 to 15 people who journey together. You see a lot of young people there, but it's not just young people, it's anyone really. We have had an age range from 11 to 60 years old. So it's really not about age at all. Anyone at any time can join us. We've had, single moms join us. And it's just really about, if you have a desire for God and learning and growing in your relationship with him, then it's the right place for you. Okay. Term 1 starts in September, so it's this September that we start. Again, we fit alongside the school year and the school schedule, so we have half terms off and all that, so you won't have to worry about any of that. And we are currently we're going to be running in September in Wigan and in Liverpool. Started off in Wigan and now we've expanded to Liverpool. And we usually meet in like an office space because it's a very good place, good neutral space to meet in. Okay. There are a few different things that you would be signing up for if you decided to do a year with us. One of them is a weekly teaching session, and the weekly teaching session really is the heart. It's the heart of BSD, is that we kind of on a weekly basis meet up, we have community, and you'll see in a minute what a teaching session looks like. But that's usually in the evening because most people are available then, and it's about 2.5 hours with the students. Every student also has a missional placement. That's very important to us because we want every student to really take what they learn in the sessions into their everyday life. That's very, very important to us, so that it's not just a theoretical thing, but it becomes a very practical thing for them. And every week we give them certain activation activities where they can take something and take a challenge home. On a monthly basis, we have mentoring. So every student gets a personal mentor. I'll go into more detail in a minute, but yeah, we do have a monthly mentoring session with each one of our students. We fast together once a month, and once a month our students submit prayer requests to their prayer buddies, which I will talk about later as well. Then, as you can see, on a termly basis, we have socials, also very important because community is a massive part of what we do. We have worship nights where we come together and just praise God. And we have a missional outreach and certain different challenges from fundraising to recruitment, all kinds of different things. And then there's some optionals, for example, a summer mission to Germany and some Bible study with our second year students. So this is kind of what a schedule of a BSD student looks like. So it very much fits around anyone's schedule because the only weekly things are not that intense. Obviously, probably the most time intense thing is the teaching session, which takes up 2.5 hours in the evening. But everything around that is more spread out. So yeah, no matter your time schedule, we've had people who are full-time employed to full-on students, and part-time people as well. So anyone, I think, can really make this work. And that was really very important to us, is that we don't exclude anyone from this, because we believe that discipleship and wanting to grow in your relationship with God, that kind of should be available to anyone who wants it. So we've always from the beginning aimed to be as inclusive as possible, to give everyone the opportunity. And you'll see that throughout this whole presentation, how we try and do that. And this is part of it. We're not a full-on program. We're not a full-time thing. We're a part-time thing that anyone can join at any time. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Thank you so much for everyone who's there watching right now. It's good to see you guys. Okay, so now kind of coming to the 5 core aspects of BSD and what makes us kind of different. And I'll explain those different aspects in here. First of all, we're going to look at the teaching. Our teaching, just so you know what you're going to be learning in the first year, is we have these two different aspects. We have the 3 terms, and in each term we focus on one main topic. But then throughout the whole year, we don't just focus on those 3 topics. We also have a whole year of additional content, which includes guest speakers. People come and share their testimonies. People share their takes on certain big questions. We do a Bible course. We learn a specific Bible study technique called Hafrim. We look into identity and the calling of each of our young people, of our people that come and join us. And we do missional training as well, where we learn, for example, how do you share the gospel, and how can you share your personal testimony as well. And we look into basic theology. So the additional content runs over the whole year, and we do that on a rota basis. So every week it's something different. But for example, every 5 weeks, it will be the guest speaker again. So it keeps it fresh for the teaching sessions. Fresh and exciting. And then the main 3 topics that we focus on specifically in the terms is term 1 is identity in Christ, freedom in Christ, and really kind of understanding what does it mean to be a Christian and how does that change my life and what is my identity according to the Bible. And term 2, we focus on healthy relationships. So what does it mean as a Christian? How do I treat other people? How can I learn to set boundaries? How can I learn to love people well? We look into very detailed stuff, even down to looking into how do we communicate and how can we keep our connection with people. And then term 3 is all centered around all of the spiritual basics. So spiritual disciplines, such as reading the Bible, fasting, all those different things that are really helpful tools in our everyday walk with Jesus. And we look at prayer and spiritual gifts as well. Okay, any questions about that? Feel free to put them in the chat. Now, I've promised you a little clip about what teaching sessions looks like, and this is just a little bit of an idea about what does a teaching session look like. Okay, so a little bit of an idea about what a teaching session looks like. We have lots of fun, we have lots of community, and it's just always such an amazing time. If you wanted to come along to one of those sessions at any point, you can get in touch with me and we can arrange that. Then you can have a little taster. That's probably, in the whole process, if you're thinking about it, it's a good shout to just come along and see if it's something that you could imagine. get a bit of a better idea. Right, moving on to mission. Mission is massively important to us at BSD. It's one of our core elements, and we do lots of good stuff. As I already told you, every one of our students has a missional placement that they serve in. They can choose that. We've got loads of different ones. There's lots of stuff going on in Liverpool and in Wigan that has really got a missional vision and that people can get involved in, where you will have contact with non-Christians. That's kind of the most important thing. And yeah, you have that once a week for at least 1 hour. You will have termly reviews and a feedback and a supervisor at each missional placement, and also termly visits from BSD leadership to see if you're doing okay and what's going on and stuff. Within the teaching sessions, like I've mentioned, we do missional training at least once a month, so you will be equipped for that as well, and you get support throughout the whole year. And our termly outreaches reach from giving out hot chocolate in town centre when it's very windy and rainy, to homeless outreach, to giving out bags to students, so it's been very varied, especially over the COVID time. But yeah, we try to do at least once a term, we do a big outreach with all the students, because we believe that this is a great place for them to learn and step out of their comfort zone. Moving on to mentoring. With mentoring, like I've said, every one of our students gets a personal mentor, and that's really valuable, I think, for the person. And the mentors are specifically trained to safeguard it. They get training at the beginning of the year, either part of Church Wigan or Liverpool, and we they fill out a feedback form each term as well to see how they're getting on. And you as a student will have your feedback form as well, where you can say how things are going for you, if you're happy with your mentor or not. But it's really just about having that person that can be there for you, chat to you through stuff, and really support you. If there's anything that you don't understand that we are doing in the teaching sessions, you want some more support with that, then that's exactly the time to ask those questions. So it's great for that individual support that we cannot always give in the big teaching sessions, but that's what the mentors are for. Prayer. We have a prayer buddy for each one of our students. They're all part of Church Wigan or Liverpool. Again, have gone through safe recruitment, and they will pray for you as a student individually. On a monthly basis, you get prayer requests, and the prayer buddy will pray for you specifically, so that each one of our students has that prayer support throughout their whole year. And can, if they want, receive some direct encouragement as well, all again in a safe way. But that's the idea behind it. It really is to kind of provide that prayer support and background as well. Okay. And then last but not least, very much the core of BSD is the community. Main bit where community happens is in our teaching sessions, where we have so much fun. We, especially in term one, we do lots of games and get to know stuff, and we just hang out and have a good time. We get to know each other and really learn from each other. And as you can see here, it's a very varied group. We have different age groups and different kind of people there, and it's just been amazing, to learn from that. And you'll see in a student interview in a little bit as well, how the age difference has kind of really impacted students. So one of our biggest things that I think sets us apart to just a normal teaching course is that we build that community, and we meet up for socials. We're not just there to teach people, we're there to learn from each other and with each other. And most of our students who have come out of BSD have said and have feedbacked that it's been a real sense of a family, learning together, growing together, and a real safe space. So yeah, we become a community. And some of our students also come and support us in doing certain events, and so we have that kind of community sense, which is really valuable. Okay, so how can you get involved? First of all, if you wanted to be a student, you would have to fill out an application form. And obviously then once you filled out the application form, you will need 2 references from either a youth pastor or a pastor. We need consent from parents or carers from under 18-year-olds, and Over 18s need a DBS check and self-declaration form, just because in the teaching sessions, you will very likely be with under 18s. So there's a very safer recruitment process to this all. And once you fill out your application form, we will do an interview with you and then let you know if you've been accepted or not. There is really important to say there are deadlines for the application form, and we also have a special early bird price that's a bit cheaper than the latest application date price, and so it's really quite important to say that our early bird deadline is coming up. It's the 15th of June. So if you wanted to apply, this would be a good time because you would save a bit of money. And the general deadline is the 15th of July. That's the absolute last point where we need application forms, and afterwards we can't really accept them anymore. And our term time is from mid-September to mid-July, so just around the school year. If you weren't sure about doing a whole term with us, you can absolutely just do one term. You can sign up for one term and join us just for one, and then if you really enjoy it, you can sign up for another one, and then if you really enjoy that, you can sign up for that one as well. So there's no problem. You don't have to do a whole year with us. There are finances, there is a cost to it, and that is because as BSD runs, we have costs and we have expenses, because I do this full time. So basically our goal is eventually to be self-sustainable. And we get a lot of funds in for fundraising to be able to keep the prices this low. If we didn't, we would have to put them up quite a lot, which I'm trying to avoid as much as I can. So these are the prices for a whole year. If you think about that on a monthly basis, that's less than £25 a month. And for over 18s, less than £50 a month. You have lots of different payment options. You can pay via checks or bank transfers, and obviously you can pay on a monthly basis. You don't have to pay the whole full price up front. You can, just set up a standing order of monthly installments. And there are sponsorships available. We never ever want finance to stop anyone from being able to do BSD, which is why we have never turned anyone away if they didn't have the money. We've always managed to find funding for them and find a sponsorship for them. So far, we've always had at least 50% of our groups sponsored. And so, yeah, don't worry about the money. If you don't have the money, don't let that stop you. We will find a way, and it's not our biggest priority. Our main priority is not to make money. Our main priority is to invest in people and help them in their relationship with Jesus. And money is definitely not the priority. So please don't let that stop you. We will find a way. If you wanted sponsorship, you could put that in your application form. There is a little part in the application form where it says, would you like full sponsorship or part-time as a part sponsorship? If you say, for example, you could pay £10 a month and then we can cover the rest. That is brilliant. So just let us know in the application form. Okay, so here's just a little bit of feedback from two of our sponsored students and how this has impacted them. So check this out.
Hi, my name is Nathaniel Ham, and I was a sponsored student at BSD. BSD made a substantial difference in the way that I view myself and the way that my identity in Christ affects me. It also massively affected the way that I interact with people, even on a day-to-day basis.
BSD came at the right time for me. It was something that I had put off, and without BSD, I don't think I would be the person that I am today. BSD helped me grow. It widened my perspectives. It taught me more about who I am and what I wanted. It taught me more about my relationship with God and my relationship with myself, and it's something that everyone needs. That it's something that you have to be able to connect with.
So sponsorship is really important in my eyes due to the fact that without it I wouldn't have been able to go and wouldn't have that change. And you never know generally how it's gonna affect someone's life, or how they're gonna affect someone else's. So sponsorship is and always will be something that's very important in things like that.
for me, I could only do that, especially in the second year after being sponsored. And I'd never thought that that would be a thing, but someone very kindly had paid for my whole second year, and I wouldn't have been able to continue on this journey without that.
All right, so that's just from two of our sponsored students who had an amazing time, you know, and wouldn't have had that without the sponsorship. So that's a great little testimony here. Okay, so just really quickly, how can you guys get involved? Obviously, I've just said to you, you can be a student, which is an amazing thing to do. You know, if you want to sign up with us, no matter the age, no matter the background, it doesn't matter, you can sign up. And then there's 4 other options. You can sponsor a student. As you've just heard, it's very, very important that we have people who sponsor. And you don't have to pay the full cost. You can just say, I would like to commit to like paying £10 a month so that someone can be sponsored. And that would already be amazing. So please consider, you know, if you could contribute to a student's, you know, sponsorship. You can become a mentor. If you'd be interested in being a mentor, you can, you know, mentor one of our students. You'd obviously have to go through the application process. But yeah, that's really straightforward, and we would love to have you as one of our mentors. You can give a one-off gift to us, either on a monthly basis or regular, that we can use for anything, sponsorships, but also the general upkeep of BSD. And you can also pray, you know, you can be a prayer buddy, and, you know, support one of our students by praying for them. So there's really quite a few different methods, and there's a lot of different links about, you know, how you can get involved, you know, on our website. So find a link to the website. I'll put that into the chat in a second as well, so you can find that link to all the different ways how you can get involved and all the different application forms. There's a donation form obviously as well, there if you wanted to donate to us. You can find all that information on the website. So please, if you're interested in getting involved, get in touch with us or check out the website link that I'm going to post in a second. All right, social media contact wise, these are just a few, you know, informational bits. So we are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram under BSD England. Our email address is info@bsdengland.co.uk. So if you have any questions, feel free to message us. And we have a website where you can find all of this information, even more. It's bsdengland.co.uk. And we are also on YouTube, and we have lots of different videos of student feedback, testimonies, devotionals. So definitely check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. And if you wanted to get in touch on the telephone, this is our phone number. So you can get in touch, and you can find all of that information also on our website. Okay, so we're nearly at the student testimonies. So I'm going to show you some videos from former students, and then we will have our students join us in a second. Enjoy.
People should join BSD to learn more about who God made them and what He has in store for their lives.
I think you should join BSD because you can get to learn more about your faith and your personal growth.
People should join BSD as it's an amazing way to grow in faith and confidence and find your true identity in Jesus.
I think people should join BSD. It's an amazing experience to grow in your faith, make new friends and have amazing opportunities.
I think people should join BSD because it's an amazing way to learn more about how great our God is and how to share that knowledge with others.
I think people should join BSD to have a regular get-together with like-minded Christians and to learn in depth about their identity, prophecy, and about healthy relationships.
I think people should join BSD because it's a great way to learn your identity, and it's a good way to learn in your faith with friends.
I think people should join BSD because it helps you getting to know the true meaning of being a disciple and what that means for the people around us, and it's just great to grow in that and to share that with other people.
I think that people should come to learn about themselves, to learn about relationships with other people, the relationship with God, to help them build in the relationship with God, build the confidence, and it just makes you feel good.
Because it's just, you learn so much that, like, some churches don't even mention things that you learn, like, quite a lot.
Because it's really good, and you get to learn more and grow in your faith.
You need to come out of your comfort zone, but that's where you grow the most. So I would say for people who want to grow in their faith and who want to also, not only the faith, also in their personality. So yeah, it's just a really good opportunity.
I think because you can learn a lot, and it's not like with other people as well who like need that help sometimes as well, and like you can also give help to each other as well in that. So.
I would say if you want to learn and grow in your relationship with Christ, and also surround yourself with people that are just genuinely good to be around, then you should go. There's really no reason not to.
Would you recommend BSD to other people?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which kind of people? Young people, old people?
Every people. Anyone, honestly. I think it's something that it doesn't matter how old you are. So especially because we've got such a wide range of ages, and it's benefiting everyone in the same way but in different ways. It's really nice to see how it's influencing people's lives, and I don't think that should be something that's just confined to 17-year-olds or 12-year-olds. I think that's something that everyone should have available to them.
Okay, we're going to welcome our students now. They've been sitting in the waiting room for a while. Let me just let them in. So excited to have them all here. We've got Leonie, Andrew, and Josh joining us today. And they're going to share a bit of their experience with us today. Hey guys, I can't see any of you yet. There we go. Hi Andrew, so nice of you to join us today.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Josh, hey guys, you are live on Facebook. Isn't that amazing? How exciting. Thank you so much for joining us today. You obviously represent quite a different generations, and I've just been speaking about that, and we've also just seen a student feedback video about how BSD is not just for young people. It's for anyone really who wants to learn. So we've got a few different questions. I'll just put them on the screen really quickly so that everyone can see them, but then we'll move into, just our faces again. So we've got a few different questions here. And obviously, if you have anything else you want to share, if you want to say anything else, you can do at any point. This is really just about hearing your guys' experience and what you thought, so that people can get a bit of a better idea of, what BSD is and what it's all about. So there's these 5 questions. How would you describe BSD, for example, in your own words? What was your personal highlight, over the year that you did with us? What have you learned for attending BSD? And what are your favorite things? And then also a really good question is, what challenged you the most? So let's keep these questions in mind, and I'll basically just throw one out there and, tell you guys, just go for it kind of thing. Okay. All right. So let's start with how would you in your own words describe BSD? And why don't we start with Andrew? Do you want to start?
Yeah. I would say it's Christ-centered and it's faith-filled, but it's a lot of fun. You learn quite a lot, and here's me as a 60-year-old who sort of came in and really enjoyed myself. It's been a brilliant 2 years I've been involved, certainly with BSD. Loved all the worship sessions. We do learn lots of new worship songs from being from a more traditional hymn singing background. So that's been good from my point of view.
Very cool. Thank you, Andrew. Josh, how would you describe BSD in your own words? It doesn't have to be long. Just what would you say it is like?
I think a place where you can kind of learn things together. and as a group you can kind of go through the different topics and learn as a group, obviously on an individual level, but also as a kind of the class or the group kind of thing. Yeah.
So like that kind of like place where you can learn together and you can grow together. I love that. Great.
Yeah.
What about you, Leonie? I won't ask everyone all 5 questions, but I just think this is a good one to ask everyone.
I think can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I think church, I think that's how I would describe BSD, because it's not just some kind of class or school you go to, it's like the whole community, and it's fellowship together, and what you said, guys, like learning together, but also having that, just having that community, and just lifting each other up and everything, worshiping together. So it's just church.
That's amazing. It is ultimately church, isn't it? Because we come together and do all those things. So thank you. That's great. Okay, well, why don't we ask what was your personal highlight? Was there a personal highlight? And I'll just throw this question out. If anybody has an answer, just go for it, and then we'll see who kind of wants to share something. If you have a personal highlight, what was your personal highlight? If not, what have you learned through attending BSD? That is the other question that you could also choose.
I've got a personal highlights, because especially this year, since it's been a bit strange, and it's not like it was last year. So we didn't really do proper teaching session, but we focused more on, the social aspect of it, and, just being a community. And I think that was my highlight, like that we met up and we just talked and we just checked on each other, and we just I don't know, just encourage each other and stuff like that. It was just great, because I didn't know really what to expect, and because the teaching sessions are usually the main part, and since we didn't really have that, the focus was more on the social, and it was just really good, especially in this time, to have that, and to have people check in on you, and to just being able to talk about different things we're struggling with. So that was definitely my highlight, just the just how close we got through that.
Amazing. I love that. Highlight, or what have you learned through BSD?
I think that I kind of said it similar, but also similar to Leonie, about the kind of the community side of things, like the kind of social side of things, especially like the first year that I did. It was very much like we were all quite close as a group and things, and also this year it's been really good in that aspect as well, and so similar to what Leonie says, just about kind of especially when we're in person in the classroom, and we're sat next to each other and we're chatting and we're doing different activities. I think that's probably the highlight for me, was when we did that and things. So
great, thank you, Josh. Andrew, go for it.
Yeah, I think with me it's sort of been learning the some of the gifts of the Spirit, and exploring the prophetic, because that's something I'd never come across before, and that's something that has opened up something very different for me in my life. So yeah.
And did you feel like BSD was a place where you were able to explore that? Because often it's like it needs to be some kind of like a safe atmosphere where you can learn and explore.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And I think as well, sort of when we did the sessions at the well as well, it seems a lifetime ago now, that, but yeah, when we could all meet up. But I always think that was a good highlight. That was a really good day.
So when we all kind of joined together to put on like a really cool interactive session at one of them, the events here that happen on a regular basis, or before COVID, that were happening in person, called the Well. So that was a really good thing, wasn't it? We all kind of did that together as BSD, which was a really cool, that was a really cool experience. Great. There's just 2 more questions. So what is your favorite thing about BSD? So I'll ask all of you that, and then we have the last question is, what challenged you most? So what is your favorite thing about BSD, and then we'll ask afterwards the challenges.
I think it's sort of sharing our faith through fellowship. That's been the highlight, really. It's been, it's been real, and the fact that we are just a multi-generation, we all contribute. It's not all one-sided. Everybody puts the two penny within, as we say.
Yeah, learning from each other,
Yes,
right?
Yeah,
and learning with each other rather than like just someone standing at the front and teaching. It's learning together and from each other. That's really cool. Go on, Leonie.
I think my favorite thing about BC is, even though it's it is church, but it just never gets boring. It's got so many different aspects to it that it's just every time it's just you get something different out of it, and it's just really diverse. And I think that's what I really like about it. I mean, it's the people, obviously, because we're different from different backgrounds and different age and everything, but also the teaching itself, or like the different things we're doing, like if it's the social or worship night or games night, or we're just doing so many different things that it's just it's just a lot going on. It just never gets boring. It's really good.
Cool. It's kind of the variety aspect, that it's like lots of different things, and that's really cool. I like that. Awesome. Thank you. What about you, Josh?
I think for me it's the different topics and that we've learned, and the different kind of teaching topics that we've learned. For me, just going into things that you don't really, or you haven't really kind of heard about or kind of even spent any time on, and just kind of exploring these different topics, I think was really good and has been really good. So I think that's my favorite bit. Just obviously the community side of things is something that I really enjoy. But the teaching has been really good. So
great. Thank you, Josh. Okay, moving on to the last question, and then I want you guys to say something afterwards. But last question is, what were there some challenges? Were you challenged at all throughout the year? And then how? If there was a challenge, how were you challenged? I'd really like to know that.
I think with me, it's probably that WhatsApp message from Hannah saying, Andrew, will you just organise this Church Wigan evening for me?
Oh, yeah.
And trying to think what to do and what to put together for a Church Wigan worship live session. That was the
so kind of like stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something that you maybe haven't done before. Right. How did it go then?
I think it went well. I think everybody seemed to enjoy it. So so I think as well, it's interesting seeing how other people have blossomed as they've been challenged as well. I think everybody grows through BSD. You must see that as well, the way the people especially some of the shyer, quieter ones that start to come out of the shell.
That's really true.
Go on, Leanne. Okay. I think for me it was the like I said before, the new topics and kind of going away and kind of being challenged by things that you've learned on the night and kind of thinking about it in the week, and like the spiritual gifting and things like that, and kind of doing something about it, not just kind of like talking about it on a Wednesday night and then kind of going away and doing nothing about it, but actually like praying into it and kind of acting on it. I think that was kind of a big challenge for me, I think.
Yeah, that is a challenge, isn't it? How to put what we learn theoretically into practice. That's I think a challenge for, that's a good one. Thank you, Josh. What about you, Leonie?
I think for me, actually, what was also my highlight, like the whole thing with that we're constantly checking on each other and encouraging each other, and just like just being there and being this community. And I think that was also a challenge for me, because like, especially when we struggle with things, it's just really hard to open up sometimes and to speak about it. So I think it was good. Like afterwards, every time, like afterwards, I just realized, all right, that was really good that I shared something, or that, you know, we just talked about it. But every time before, I'm like, all right, need to share. You know, it's just hard sometimes. So I think that was a challenge, but also really good things, like a really good thing afterwards every time. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Totally. That is a very challenging, you know, thing. That's part of BSD, definitely. It's very understandable. Great. Well, thanks so much, guys. I just have this last thing. If you could say, or even just generally getting involved with BSD.
You just cut out there. Can you repeat that?
My internet connection is unstable. It's the last thing I need right now. Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you could say one thing to someone who's considering being a student or just generally getting involved with BSD, what would you say to them?
Do it.
Yeah, it's just the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
It's, even though it might seem really challenging, or like, I don't know, it's gonna get you out of your comfort zone, but it's gonna let you grow so much. And it's just the best thing, this fellowship together, and learning so much more about God. Like I feel like through BSD I just got to know God so much better, and so much more aspects of him. So just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I think you don't really you don't really realize that there's things so much that you would like to learn before you actually do it, and how much you could learn before you actually do it. And I think I'd say to anyone that it's just great to learn different things about your faith and about God, and it will definitely get you closer to people, but also closer to God.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming along. Really appreciate having you here and for all your feedback. And yeah, you are released. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon.
Bye.
Guys, thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was an awesome time hearing from our students. I hope you got something out of that. And if you had any more questions, feel free to message us on BSD. We've just got we've had our Q&A time. Like I've said before, if you want more information, visit our website. We've got loads of stuff on our website. And you can hear I'm a bit German there. bsdengland.co.uk, really easy to find. And again, I think it's we have so much good stuff from our students, more feedback on our YouTube page as well. And yeah, just thank you so much for being here. And if you have any other questions, like I've said, feel free to message us. So if you want to apply, go to our website, you find the application form there. And yeah, thank you so much for being here, and have an awesome rest of your day. Bye.